Is there ever a point at which you and Elise look at each other and go, "What are we doing here?"
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah, we still do. I think that's where, your faith moment comes. And you have to really dig deep and figure out why is it that God put me here? Because there's always a reason. And for us, looking back, we can see it in those moments of like, what in the world are we doing? We had no money. I mean, we were living off of a half-time teacher's salary as a assistant in a public school. I think we were living off of like $500 per month, um, which is not, it's almost, the same as living in the United States for $500 a month. I mean, Chile is very expensive. So at that moment of not being able to afford anything, we said, well, we moved here so that maybe we could have a family. And then we can't even afford to have a kid. So we had to wait years in order to have our son Moses because we couldn't even afford for ourselves to have food. I think we went like 5 months without eating any meat, not because we wanted to be a vegetarian, but because we couldn't afford it. And we had to struggle like that. And now looking back, I can realize, why we struggled. A lot of people that come, not everyone, but a lot of people that come to Academia Cristo, they live off the same amount. $500 is a lot for them. A lot of them might live off of $250 per month, and they live in a small shack. We kind of lived the same way, not in a small shack. We lived in a small, very small house, but it had nothing, and we couldn't afford anything. And so for us to be able to then relate with people and say, yeah, maybe not, we've been exactly where you're at, but we can relate with them and we can say, you know, how can we help you? How can we love you right now? Because sometimes that's all that you need somebody to say, like, and usually they are going to be, and we were completely content with what we had. It's almost better sometimes to have nothing rather than to have so much because you realize you don't need very much. And I remember, I think the hardest thing for me was not being able to help the church. I went down there to help the church, and how are you supposed to help the church when you don't know their language? Nobody there spoke any English. And so that's where Academia Cristo, I had some resources with just some piece of paper you would print out and you would fill in the blanks, and there would be a video to watch. And I invited the men of the congregation to come to my house. I could say like hola and cómo estás, and that was about it. And then we could watch this video and they could learn about God's word without me knowing much Spanish at all. And they loved it because they were just looking for somebody that would guide them in God's word every week or every other day. That's what people wanted. And I think if you have that as your focus in life, God just paves the way for you. And you can see that in Elise and I and our life, and hopefully for our son Moses too. He'll have that in his life too. It's just a simple prayer. God, use me, even though I don't know the language, even though I'm here and don't have a clue what's going on in Linares, Chile. Use me, and he did, and yeah, right now God is just blessing us, even here in Quito, Ecuador now, in ways that we never would have thought when we were at MLC and teaching at St. Marcus or at Luther Prep. It's just amazing how a simple prayer can be answered in ways that you just never would have expected.